Greetings, everyone. You're in tune to the I Worship Steelers show. I'm your host, Yusuf Cawthorn. We're going into week 2 against the Tennessee Titans. First of all, I'd like to show my appreciation and my thanks to the Pittsburgh Steelers organization for taking out the Atlanta Falcons in overtime in really unique fashion with the 50-yard touchdown run by Rashard Mendenhall. It was very exciting. I know most Steelers fans were on the edge of their seat, but they really appreciated the way a young man bursted through the line, caught his balance, caught the sidelines, and ran through the end zone to victory. I got to give a lot of props and thanks to the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as David Johnson, the H-back, number 85. That was a hell of a seal block that he put on the linebacker. Great blocks all across the line. Hines Ward also. I saw about 7 textbook blocks. I saw Trey Essex with I believe I saw his knee on a defensive lineman. I mean, he had a man buried into the ground. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I'm very proud of the offensive line for holding up really well, protecting Dennis Dixon, and opening up lanes, seal blocks, and holes for Rashard Mendenhall. I wish they would suit up Jonathan Dwyer. That's extra firepower that we need, as well as Antonio Brown and punt return and kick return. I think most Steelers fans will tell me when I make this comment that I'm not giving him a fair chance, but I think Randall L. is done in the NFL. I think he's finished. He's a waste of a roster spot for us right now. I like him. Love him as a person and a former player, but I keep him on the roster, but I take the uniform off him in September and October and use him in an emergency in case a couple of receivers or determined go down to injury. But for right now, I'd let him go. I wouldn't let him go. I'd put him on the bench. You know what I mean? We have a 53-man roster and only 45 players get to suit up every week. He would be one of my 8 players that would definitely not suit up and not be active for the game. Let's move on with business. I like the way Dennis Dixon looks. He looked rocky in the beginning. I think he had jitters. I don't think he was nervous. I think he was just trying to be too safe with his passes. The short passing was terrible. He was skipping the ball on the ground and short-arming receivers and running backs. But by the second half, they allowed him to throw downfield and open it up a little bit. Once he throws that one bomb for a completion, he's a streaky quarterback. He gets on a roll. When the smoke cleared, his statistics weren't that bad. In fact, they were kind of good. 18 of 26, I believe, 70% completion percentage, 236 yards passing. He only ran twice. You know, he stayed in the pocket and got the job done. He reminds me of a rookie, Ben Roethlisberger. When Ben was a rookie, and in his second year also, he would put up those type of stats or less every week in convincing wins. And, you know, that's all I'm looking for out of Dennis Dixon. I'm not looking for him to throw for 503 yards and 3 touchdowns each week that he comes out here. But I'm looking for him to throw over 200 yards, keep his completions to about 2/3, of his passes to be complete. Anywhere from 65 to 70% is beyond the call of duty for a third-string quarterback in the NFL. He's doing well. Rashard Mendenhall is doing excellent. The blocking was excellent. The wide receivers have to get more involved, but I think we have to give looks to other wide receivers besides Randall L. and Wallace. Wallace doesn't get open enough for me, but he's a big play receiver. He leads the NFL in yards per catch last year and this year because he really doesn't catch many balls. The only balls he catches are bombs, which is fine, but we have to institute more wide receivers into it. Sanders needs to get more run. Antonio Brown needs to suit up, and he needs to get in the offense, get acclimated to it. Heath Miller's doing a fine job as usual. Matt Spaeth is usually a waste of space. I really wish we picked up a tight end in the 3rd or 4th round of the draft. Maybe we'll look for that in the 2nd and 3rd round next year and let Spaeth go. Let's move forward to the defense. We look awesome. I think the Falcons might have gotten the red zone like once. They couldn't score any touchdowns. They 5 quarters they couldn't score a touchdown. They even got the ball first in overtime and couldn't find a way to score a touchdown on us. The special teams looks better. I was really impressed. I like Jason Worrells. I think he had about 3 special teams tackles. He was a monster. I was really impressed with the special teams as a whole. Coverage, especially. Blocking for the punt and kick return is not as good. It's something we'll have to work on. The punting was good. Jeff Reed had a bittersweet day. He made some clutch, long field goals, but he missed some field goals too. They were misfortunate. Well, if you watch Jeff Reed's past in the beginning of the season, he makes some hard ones and he misses some hard ones, and then he gets really streaky when it gets cold. He'll make like all of his field goals for like 8 straight games. He's just that kind of kicker. A guy that I would love to re-sign on the off season. He's a franchise player now for us, and he's making the 4th largest salary of all kickers in the NFL. But he's someone I want to. I don't want to put a franchise tag on him next year. I want him to finish his career in Pittsburgh. I gave him a nice 4 or 5 year contract and let him live out his career in Pittsburgh. Very active kicker. As far as the defensive backs, Roddy White got a lot on us underneath, but Troy Polamalu and Coach LeBeau obviously picked up on that, and when it really counted, Troy came up big with the interception. He read Matt Ryan's eyes and jumped the ball on that play and took a risk that counted and came up big for us. Safeties, Brian Clark needs to improve. His coverage skills are horrible, but he can really hit, as we know. Ryan Mundy coming off the bench, he did pretty good. He needs to improve. We need to see more out of Will Allen. Will Allen really needs to play in the defense more. They really have to get him in there more. I want to see more corners. I want to see Creston Butler get some run. William Gay hasn't looked poor yet. He did okay. Ike Taylor is playing some pretty good football. I'm really impressed with Ike, especially in the first game. Ike was pretty good, but McFadden had 14 tackles due to the fact that he might have gave up about 8 receptions. He's got to step it up. Linebackers look great as usual. I love James Ferrier. Woodley and Harrison got 1 sack each. Casey Hampton's injured for this upcoming game. The key to this next game is keep Vince Young trapped in the pocket and keep an outside rush on him. And every once in a while, blitz a linebacker like Ferrier or a safety or corner up the middle. Bring some pressure up the middle and have Willie and Harrison constantly rushing on the outside almost every damn play. That's how you want to do it. Troy Polamalu, I don't need him to do too much. Confuse Vince Young. That's what you need to do. If he gets out in the open field and proceeds down the field, pop him. My prediction is Vince is going to give up the ball 2 or 3 times. Chris Johnson, don't let him break the long run. You know what I mean? You got to. The second tier of the defense has got to tackle him. You got to wrap up with that guy. Wrap him up and bring him down, or he will break a 70 or 80 yard run on you. He won't get 100 yards. Vince Young won't throw for 250 or 300. We should have a pretty easy time shutting down our offense, but I think they're gonna start scoring at the end. We're gonna have a war at the end. I think we're gonna jump out on them early. They're gonna come back on us, and somehow we'll pull out the game 23-20 in the last seconds in heart attack fashion as we usually do. That's my prediction for next week. 23-20. Rashard Mendenhall, about 80-85 yards rushing. Dennis Dixon throws for 270 and a touchdown. And no interceptions. I think we won't have any turnovers. They'll have plenty of turnovers, and that's going to be the difference in the game. Pittsburgh Steelers win another one. You're watching the I Worship Steelers show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Tell your friends, tell your family, tune in, give your feedback, and we'll see you next week.